Yeah. You know what it is, man. July 90 the summer heat is rising high. A legend's father cruising neath the Carolina sky. Red Lexus SC400, windows tinted dark. Just left a funeral in Wilmington, looking for a spot to park. He's tired, 57 years of life upon his chest. Pulls over on the shoulder just to get a little rest. The highway's quiet, just the crickets in the breeze. The father of the goat putting his mind at ease. But in the shadows of the night, two demons start to creep. They don't see a man, they see a prize while he's asleep. Daniel Green and Larry Demery, moving with the steel, about to turn a nap into a nightmare that is real. They killed the father of the man they wanted to be. Wore the logo on their feet while they took his dignity. A twisted irony, a cold and bitter fate, to murder James Jordan while you're rocking Air Jordan 8s. The jumping on the tongue, the blood upon the floor. They took the life they loved and they closed the coffin door. One shot to the chest, it didn't even take a fight. They dragged him from the leather in the middle of the night. They didn't know the name, they didn't know the face. Just wanted for the jewelry and the car to leave a trace. They took the rings, 2 championship bands of gold. Gifts from a son whose stories never will be old. They tossed him in the swamp, let the water take the man, while they drove around his Lexus, part of a hollow plan. Stupid and young, they used his phone to make a call, not knowing every digit meant they headed for a fall. They killed the father of the man they wanted to be. Wore the logo on their feet while they took his dignity. A twisted irony, a cold and bitter fate, to murder James Jordan while you're rocking Air Jordan 8s. The jumping on the tongue, the blood upon the floor. They took the life they loved and they closed the coffin door. Imagine the scene, it's a sickness in the gut. The killer's in the kitchen while the windows all are shut. They counting up the cash, they feeling like the kings, while wearing Michael's shoes and holding Michael's rings. The very man they cheer for when the buzzer hit the mark is the man whose world they shattered and they left them in the dark. If they only knew the bloodline of the body in the creek, would they put away the pistol, would they knees be getting weak? But greed is a blindfold and hate is a heavy chain. They traded a legend's life for a little bit of gain. Killed the father of the man they wanted to be. Wore the logo on their feet while they took his father's dignity. A twisted irony, a cold and bitter fate, to murder James Jordan while you're rocking Air Jordan 8s. The world stood still when the news hit the wire. Michael at the peak, but he lost his inner fire. He walked away from the court, traded sneakers for a bat, trying to find his peace where his father's spirit sat. While the killers sat in cells, blaming one another's name. Larry pointed fingers, Daniel played the legal game. Life behind the bars for a senseless tragic act, but no amount of time brings a fallen father back. The irony is heavy, like a stone inside the shoe. The killers were the fans, but they never even knew. They killed the father of the man they wanted to be. Wore the logo on their feet while they took his dignity. A twisted irony, a cold and bitter fate, to murder James Jordan while you're rocking Air Jordan 8s. Cold gunny shadows where the justice is a blur. 30 years later and the question still occur. Was the evidence enough? Was the trial held fair? But the ghost of James Jordan is still hanging in the air. 2 young men lost in the cycle of the street with the symbol of greatness strapped onto their feet. They wanted to fly high, they wanted to be like Mike, but they chose a path to dark until the lonely Carolina fight. So when you lace them up and you look down at the floor, think about the cost and the man who is no more. A father's life taken for a watch and for a car by 2 kids who followed him, following a star. The sickest twist of fate that the history can hold. A story of the jump man that is rarely ever told. James is in the heavens, Michael's got the crown, but the legacy is heavy when the tragedy goes down. Laced up in the brand, blood on the design, crossing over life, stepping out of line. The logo is a silhouette of man that robbed of joy, killing the father of the world's favorite boy. They killed the father of the man they wanted to be. Wore the logo on their feet while they took his dignity. A twisted irony, a cold and bitter fate, to murder James Jordan while you're rocking Air Jordan 8s. The jumpman on the tongue, the blood upon the floor. They took a life they loved and they closed the